Welcome back everyone to more Tsukihime. Let's get going.
普通だな。死者は出入りしてない。
外れね。次に行きましょう。はい、メガネかけて。先は長いんだからあんまり無理しないように。
Like she mentioned this afternoon, Arkway has a good idea of where the zombies patrol. She wants to check out 6 places. The first 2 were a bust. The third spot, a building with rentable offices, paid off. One of the security guards entering an unused office was an absolute cluster of lines. Arkway understood just from the look on my face. She had me wait in the hall while she entered the room, exiting casually just a minute later.
ごめんなさい。ここも外れ。低級の式だった。この辺りは昨日借り尽くしたから完全に警戒されたわね。
Arkway shrugs. She hides it well, but I sense what she feels discouraged.
何よ、ニヤニヤして。私の失敗が楽しいの？
いや、違うよ。いつも気楽なお前でも気を落とすことがあるんだなって。
それどういう意味？私だって人並みに壊したり潰したりしますよーだ。
I wish she'd phrased that as a happy and sad, but that's just too tall an order for this vampire princess. We sneak out of the building and make for our next destination. It's just before midnight. We see fewer pedestrians, and the neon lights begin to shut off one by one. Car taillights pass us by. Arkway steps in time with them, as if to follow them home. We've now investigated 5 spots to no avail, which means we only have 1 chance left. We seem to be headed to a residential area. Arkway doesn't say anything, but I get the idea that she was saving this one for last for a reason.
しかし、分かってはいたけどまだるっこしいな。足で調査するしかないなんて、前時代的にも程がある。
昔から吸血鬼退治は面倒なものだもの。町のどこかにある親元の棺を探し当てるんだから、そう簡単には終わらないわ。
そっか、ならいい。って、別に嫌がってるわけじゃないぞ。単にアルクエイドも大変だなって思っただけで。
私は別に大変じゃないよ。決められた作業だもの。手順を踏んでいけばきちんと終わるものだし。
All I can manage in response is a huh. Arkway is all business when it comes to hunting vampires. She'll do whatever it takes as long as it produces results. Just because she can leap 10 meters in the air doesn't mean she's itching to skip the legwork. Now that I think about it, it was the same when I first met her. She had fully integrated into human society during her search for vampires, even though she could have done what Vlad did if she'd felt like it.
ってなんだよ、人の顔をジロジロ見て。ちゃんと前向いてないと転ぶぞ。
やっぱりこれって不思議なことよね。ねえ、式は私といて平気なの？吸血鬼退治とか怖くないの？
はあ？
A baffled grunt escapes my throat. She's asking me this now? Am I okay being with her? I don't even have to think about it.
別に平気かどうかなんてただの襟好みだろう。俺たちは利害が一致した協力関係なんだし、そりゃ吸血鬼は怖いけど町のためなら我慢するぞ。
Arkway accepts my answer with a faint nod. The conversation stops there. We walk through the empty streets in silence. We're far from the station now. These 2 hours haven't been very productive, but somehow it doesn't feel like we've wasted our time. Even if we didn't address the root of the problem, we've at least stopped it from getting worse for today. That must be the reason behind this strange sense of accomplishment.
でも気を使わなくていいのはいい。
I finally give voice to a feeling I've never expressed.
四季？
だから気楽だってこと。俺は根本的にろくでなしだからさ。お前みたいに頑丈なやつがいてくれると、なんていうか。
I feel truly at ease. Everything I see is broken. How I look at the world is polluted. I shouldn't be here. When I'm with her, it feels like the conclusions I've come to these past 7 years begin to fade.
ねえねえ、それってつまり私が四季を楽しくさせてるってこと？
逆。おっかない吸血鬼と一緒なんだぞ。災難極まってるだろ。気が楽っていうのはどう転んだって今以下にはならないってことだよ。
It's like Shiki's going out of his way to jinx himself.
おっかないってどの辺が？
山ほどある。殺しても生き返ってひたすら追いかけてくるとか、3000度の高熱をあちちで済ますところとか、ガムテープとかビルの屋上まで駆け上がるところとか、駅前をお釈迦にするところとか。
And you gave everything you had to protect me and the town from Vlov's ice.
岩盤をちゃぶ台返しするところとか、人の体によくわかんないものを塗りつけたりとか、あと昼間に学校に来るところとか。
はい、そこまでで結構です。四季の気持ちはよくわかりました。
いいのか？まだもうちょっとだけあるぞ。
いいわよ、自覚あるから。ふんだ、どうせ私は吸血鬼ですものね。
Arkway picks up her pace, walking briskly ahead of me.
待てってば。お前が本気になったら追いつかないぞ、俺。
I follow her, half jogging. Turns out our sixth destination was just up ahead. There it is, in the middle of the neighborhood. A typical 4-story apartment complex. Nothing out of the ordinary. There look to be 4 apartments per floor with lights visible in most of their windows. The people who live here are still awake, spending their time as they please. But as someone looking in from the outside, there's no way of knowing whether that involves any shady business. I look at the lines. The strain it puts in my brain makes me nauseous. This place seems wrong. There's nothing unusual about the lines running across the building, but it feels somehow lifeless. There's something unnatural about the brightness emanating from the interior, or from the strangely concentrated lines of death scrawled across the woman just now entering the apartment complex.
そう、やっぱり当たりね。
Instead of going to the entrance of the apartment complex, Arkway heads down the slope leading to the underground garage. The garage is guarded by a metal shutter.
普通のマンションだけど、ここなのか、アルクエイド。
ええ、このシャッター、人よけと消臭の結界がかかってる。あれはカメラかな？私の姿を捉えてるけど、中の死者たちにもう逃げる時間はない。昼間、私一人でやってきていたら逃げられていたでしょうけど。
Bending down, she places her hands under the shutter. Is she really gonna pull the shutter up by...
シキ、このシャッター切れる？
そりゃ切れるけど、いいのか？
ええ、私よりシキが適任。無理やり開けると警報が鳴るでしょ。
Good point. Arkway is pretty good at keeping her cool under pressure.
シキはガレージの入り口にいて。ここが巣なら中には10体近いアンデッドがいるはず。相手が1体だけならシキの方が強いけど2体以上になると不利でしょうから。
別に俺はそこまで。まあいいか。分かった。切るぞ。
I cut along a line on the shutter. Metal sheets concentrate with a clatter. Or metal meets concrete with a clatter. I peer into the pitch black through the opening I just cut.
なんだこの匂い。
A foul stench hits my nostrils. The garage reeks of rotting meat and rancid blood. I see several squirming clusters of lines within. The sound of the shutter being sliced open seems to have caught their attention. There are 22 of them. With this many undead, there's no doubt that their sire is here with them too.
アルクエイド、予想より数が多い。ここが根城なんだろう。ならやっぱり俺も。
ここは根城じゃないわ。ただの食堂よ。大丈夫。起きたばっかりの節なんて虫みたいなものだし。シキはそこで待ってて。すぐ片付けちゃうから。
She's just so laid back about all this. My brain has difficulty keeping up with the incomprehensible scene in front of me. Something so beautiful yet so grotesque. Like a figure skater performing in a graveyard full of decay. A throng of undead approaches their guest. She conducts a symphony of snapped bones with a single swing of her arm. A cacophony of fangs clattering to find their prey. The sound of splitting flesh, and somehow, even within the mist of gore, a white shadow untouched by a single fleck of blood. It takes my breath away no matter how many times I see it. Of course, these corpses don't stand a chance against her. Their abilities are too mismatched, their viewpoints too dissimilar. Their very existences reside in different dimensions. As if the word unparalleled was coined for her and her alone. To Arkwade, these vampires that exist only to drink blood must be no different from humans. Their prey, and nothing more. Another current of pain rushed through my brain. It's what I get for going without my glasses for so long, but I can't put them back on yet. Arkwade may have said she could take them on by herself, but there are still more than 10 of them left. It would take her less than a minute to deal with the rest of them at her current pace, but just in case, Something's wrong. Arquade's movements are slowing. She hasn't been injured. The zombies can't even get close to her in the first place. But even still. So, she hasn't fully recovered yet, right? Her face appears to distort with pain with every enemy she rends. All of them fall to her terrible onslaught. The next thing I know, there's only one left. This shouldn't require excessive force. A zombie of this caliber ought to perish in a single slash of her claws. And yet... Perhaps seeing the fight's end, the white silhouette pulverizes the humanoid, holding nothing back. It's over. Standing center stage of the carnage is Arkwade, her breath still ragged. She finally loosens her shoulders. That idiot. I don't know what was going on in that head of hers, but she's exhausted too much of her strength. She could have used a tenth of what she used just now and still finished things without breaking a sweat.
Arkwade.
I quietly call her name from the entrance.
あ、どう？見ててくれたしき。今夜はこれで終わりだし、あなたの前だし、いつもより張り切ってやっちゃった。
お前な、こんな物騒な張り切っちゃったとか初めて聞いたぞ。
I sigh. She really is a troublemaker. How am I supposed to respond to the idea that she just wanted to show off to me?
まあ確かにちょっと見とれたのは事実だけ
The hell's that one? The cheerful mood is cut short. My thoughts cease. My mind blanks. Something strange and unspeakable draws my attention. When did it get here? Or rather, how long have I failed to see it? A panther appearing in a back alley. Flaming corpses. Dead things in the form of human beings. I've seen my share of abnormalities these past few days. I've experienced a lot of things for the first time. Yet those were all based in reality. They are variations on what I know. Mere extensions of common sense. This thing is different. The air it exudes is too irregular. Its classification too deviant. Its very existence is born of some indecent process. It belongs neither here in Soya nor in Arcoid's world. It's shaped like a person. Its stench is like that of a zombie. But humanoid as it is, it's discard any claim as a Homo sapiens. I don't sense any respiratory functions. I can't see how it would react to light. Yet my instincts grasp that this beast is built to be a predator. While I've never seen anything like it, it does remind me of something I know. A spider. My mind is still frozen. I can't quite remember how to work my throat. The muscles in its abdomen flex and ripple. The mass of bulging flesh isn't body fat, but many muscular arms. Strangely, fleshy tubes like writhing invertebrates. The moment I recognize it for what it is, I shout. Arcade turns to look, sensing the aberration behind her. The monster's tentacle shoots out like a whip, cracking at the back of Arquade's neck. It's quick, but not quick enough to catch Arquade completely off guard. Arquade's claws fly to meet the limb of flesh. The same claws that cut through the zombie's flesh as easily as scrap paper. But her rending claws are unable to sever the scourging tendril. Rather, the deflective whip keeps its inertia, brutally lashing across the woman's back. I hear a trigger fire at the back of my skull. This zombie is an aberration. That's one thing. Its skin is unusually resilient. That's another. The zombie's on a different level of repugnance. That's yet another. But more than anything else, its second and third arm threaten to come down and end Arquade's life. No way. That's stupid. She's stupid. If she hadn't pushed herself, she would never have gotten into this position. This is ridiculous. She's injured again. Cornered. Up against a wall. Her breathing is ragged. She's taking hits even I could avoid. Thank God I'm not wearing my glasses. I probably would have broken them in anger if I was. The aberration leaps into the air, seemingly enjoying itself. A vulgar grin pulls at its lips. Having found prey, it wouldn't normally be able to hunt. Fuck you. Fuck you. That's mine. It's my fault. That's my job. I'm going to... I killed her. I brought her down, but she still forgave me. Trash like me who killed her for a simple pleasure. And now... Oh yes. Don't touch her with those disgusting things. I cut without thought, without wasted movement, like an animal driven by pure instinct. Am I running? Is it chasing me? That's fine. There's no hesitation in my steps. A second strike from the beast, short and fast, unlike the first, the equivalent of a jab in boxing. An action that maximizes speed with minimal movement. Not particularly powerful, but too fast for the eye to register. Too fast to react to. But that's not an issue for me. If I can't dodge it, I can just cut through it. I pursued the figure in front of me, a crimson cluster of tightly packed lines of death. Without even thinking, I'm slashing a potent line. There goes his left leg, dead, despite how wary I'd been of it before. Now all I have left to fear is its bite, but I'm already close enough to reach. I stab the point thrumming just up and to the right of its navel. There are no death throes. The aberration simply collapses to the ground, like a mechanical doll with its batteries removed. That's instant KO right there. I finally let out a breath that I've been holding all this time. I'm surrounded by lumps of rotting flesh. The thing I killed is gone, vanished into ash. Considering the bodies of the zombies killed by Arcwade still remain, it seems that this one was indeed special. But I killed it. I snuffed the light out of the aberration without faltering for a second. My mind still won't process things properly. This was pure violence. A mad rush without a single thought spared toward the lessons that Master taught me. An action fueled by the murderous rage I've tried so hard to quell. Regret, remorse, hatred, despair. It will all return with a vengeance once I've calmed down. But I'm fine with that. I am. As long as Arcwade is safe. This is the first time. Just now, I used my power to save someone, in full control of myself, with no hesitation. I look back to find Arcwade breathing heavily, her shoulders trembling.
大丈夫かアルクエイド
I'm at her side in an instant. She holds her heaving chest like she's in pain, like a suffering animal that knows nothing but how to gasp for air.
バカ油断しすぎだあんな考えなしで暴れるから大丈夫か体の傷開いちまったのか
Her back is shivering. This is bad. For one, she's completely drenched in sweat. Worried that Arcwade hurt herself, I lean in to take a good look and... Yeah, she's totally weird.
おい
もう仕切ったらけだもの今のすごいちょっとすごすぎると思う
I love how she can turn such a dire situation to something comedic and lighthearted. No, this is just cruel. Arcwade wasn't doubled over in pain. She was trying to hold back her laughter.
嘘泣きとかお前人間社会に毒されすぎてないかというかそうだよな心配した俺がバカだった頑丈なお前があれぐらいで痛がるはずないもんな
あ、ひどい痛いのは本当だったんだからあとちょっと追い込まれていたら誰かさんに切られたお腹がまた開いていたところよ
That's not fair. No matter what I say, I'm still to blame, so I accept my defeat in silence.
はいはいわかりました俺が悪うございましたともさっきのバカ笑いはどうあれお前が無事でよかったよ
My mouth opens fire before I can help myself. And after I do, she's back to wearing that usual enigmatic grin.
なんだよまだ何かあるのか
それと嘘泣きじゃないよ。嬉しいのも本当。だってシキがすごく頼りになるんだもん。
My cheeks are burning. I turn away to try and counter the sudden ambush.
何？どうかしたシキ？
どうもしてない。ちょっと暑いんで。ほら。
What an excuse. That was genuinely terrible. Though for now, I can't bring myself to look at Arkwade. I bring my hands to my face to hide my burning cheeks, but it only serves to heat them more. What's with that look? And what is she thinking? As if being good at killing something to be praised. Read the room. You're evil. A witch. Why the hell am I still happy about it? I need to calm down. Chill the fuck out.
よし、落ち着いた。で、これからどうしよっか。ほら、ここが敵の本拠地じゃないにしても、中に入って手がかりを探すとか。
そうね、人が来る前に調べてもいいかも。棺の手がかりはないでしょうけど、他の食堂の場所が。
I can't do this. The throbbing in my chest won't calm down. My face is burning up. I'm growing more lightheaded by the second. Arquade's voice feels like it's passing me by. But what am I supposed to do? Anyone would be smitten being told that with that kind of smile. The pain in my head, the heaviness in my arms and legs, it's all because of...
シキ？ちょっと大丈夫？
No, lady.
すごい熱。あの死者、そんなに見えにくい相手だったの？
いや、そんなことはなかったけど、お前、なんか、近くない。
I can barely move my head. I'm conscious, but my brain feels like it's stuffed with cotton, completely dulling my senses.
ここの調査はやめて休憩にしましょう。どうせ手がかりなんて残さないやつだし、今日は食堂を潰せただけで十分よ。これだけの働きアリを失ったらしばらく活動はできないし、もう自分から外に出てくるしかなくなるわ。
She pulls me away by the arm. I nod vaguely, and we leave the garage and the sea of body parts within. I rest on a bench, on a beach. Full feeling returns to my arms and legs after about 30 minutes. I didn't notice it myself, but it seems that staring at the aberration's lines really did a number on me. Arkwade stands in front of the bench. She's been staring at me since we arrived.
あのな、アルクエイド。めまいも消えたんだし、そのいかにも俺が悪いって顔はもうやめてくれ。そもそも、あの時はああでもしないと傷が開いたんだろう、お前。
あれは言葉のあや。あんな編集ぐらい何とでもできたわ。そんなことよりあなたの体よ。昨日の話ちゃんと覚えてる？
目を使いすぎるなって話だろ。分かってる。俺だって廃人にはなりたくない。次からは気をつける。
はあ、鈍感にも程がある。あなたに危機感を植え付けるのは難儀そうね。ま、一番身近にして最高級の死に慣れているんだから、それも当然か。ほんと、どうしてやろうかしら。一度思いっきり怖がらせてあげましょうか。
Why is she so resentful about this? Can someone explain it to me?
最高級の恐怖なら お前に追いかけられた時のでお腹いっぱいだよ。この目が危険だってことも言われなくとも分かってる。
I lived with them for 7 years now.
さっきのだっていつもならめまいは起こさなかった。あれは単に。
I don't think it was from looking at the lines too much. I was just overwhelmed from everything with Arcwade.
単に何？
単に歩き尽くしで疲れていただけだ。お前は平気だろうけど人間は疲れるんだよ。2時間歩きっぱなしだと。
それならいいけど、四季ってたまに自分を客観視しすぎてない？その魔眼のせいで自分嫌いになってるとか？
いや、自分が嫌いになれたら目のことで悩んだりはしないだろう。言っておくけど、俺は自分のことも周りのこともやけになって見たことは一度もないよ。
そうなんだ。ちょっと意外。
I'm sure it is. But this is a question of dignity, of having a place to belong. Someone once said that even a person like me has a reason to live. That's why I don't want to fall into despair or hate myself. Maybe a small thing to live my life by, but it's brought me this far.
それにこの目だってそんなに悪いことばかりでもないし、裸眼でいると色々と不都合があるけど、食欲が薄れるのは手間が省けて楽だよ。もともと小食だから相性はいいと思う。
魔眼による食欲の減少と持って生まれた消化機能の関係は私にはわからないけど。
ああ、いや、ごめん。今のは冗談というか、本気で取られると恥ずかしいというかですね。
真面目な話よ。あなたの目は後天的なものと言っていたけど、それは現れるのが遅かっただけの話かもしれない。
現れるのが遅かっただけ？
ええ。超能力は突然変異体だけど、それにだって誕生する土壌が必要なの。四季のような目を持つ先祖はいなかったとしても、似通った目を持った親はいたかもしれない。魔術師は知識と身体回路を子供に移植するけど、あなたのような異能は交配による遺伝子だけで伝わっていって覚醒遺伝として現れる場合が多いから。
交配による遺伝子、つまり親父から？
というより、あなたの一族全体の話ね。家系の中であなただけ特別という考え方の方が不自然よ。あなたに異能があるのなら、あなたの家系全てが特別と考えるべき。四季の家族ってそういう人たちなんじゃないの？
I can't help but laugh at the question. She wants me to believe this is all genetic? That Akia or Makihisa have eyes like mine? I'm 100% positive that's not the case. I'm the only weird one in the family. Besides, without my accident, I'd never have gotten these eyes in the first place. They weren't inherited at all, more like a side effect.
でも忠告は受け取っておく。ありがとう、アルクエイド。
何？いきなりかしこまって。私、あなたにとって嫌な話をしたと思うんだけど。
嫌な話じゃなかったよ。全部俺の体を気遣ってくれてのことだったからさ。今日の学校での事前調査だって俺に無理させたくなかったんだろう。お前だって昼間は辛いのに。だからありがとう。ここまでされてやっと気がつくあたり、お礼を言える立場でもないけど。でもそういうアルクエイドはどうなんだ？腹の傷本当に塞がってるんだろうな。
そっちはちゃんと塞がってるけど、なんで？
いや、さっき調子悪そうだったから。何もされてないのに苦しそうだったというか、イライラしていたというか。
I feel a strange sting in my chest. It's not painful. If anything, it's ticklish.
四季？
いや、なんだこれ。
I stick my hand into my shirt without thinking. It's slimy. Why? My fingers are coated in something thick and sticky, like paint.
なんだろう。なんか濡れてる。
Someone cut you? I pull my hand from my shirt, from my fingers to my palm. It's slick with crimson blood. Another sting. That strange feeling again. It took me far longer than it should have to recognize that it's coming from the old scar on my chest.
四季、それ。
Uh-oh, I don't like that look.
変だな。痛くもないし傷も開いてないのに胸から血が滲んでる。
It's so red. A bright, pure, eye-catching liquid.
ああ、さっきのやつの爪がかすっていたとか。痛みはないんだし、血もこれしか滲んでこないみたいだし、気にする必要は。
Arkway is staring at my hand. Or perhaps more accurately, she is utterly fixated on the crimson liquid that covers it.
アルクエイド。
She's hungry. She doesn't answer. Her breathing is slow and labored. Seems at this point I'd freak out a little bit. Heavy shaking breaths, like it's hurting her to breathe.
おい、アルクエイド。どうした？やっぱり傷が痛んで。
I grab her shoulder. But when I do, she quickly brushes my hand away, fleeing my concern.
アルクエイド。
四季。
She pushes out my name between her shallow breaths, a hint of hostility ringing through her tone.
違う。私、そんなこと思ってない。
What is this? Arkway looks away uneasily.
どうしたんだよ。変だぞお前。
She wants your blood, dude.
体、まだ回復してないんじゃないのか。
I don't know how you can't see this.
そうね。ちょっと無理しすぎたみたい。だから私帰るね。
ああ。まあどうせ今夜はこれでおしまいだって言ってたけど。
うん。また明日ここで待ってる。
She's gone before I can stop her, and going after her was never an option. Without even giving me another look, she leaped into the night sky, like a rabbit hopping across the moon. It's for the best, dude. Following the road up the hill from the residential district, I eventually reached the estate's outer wall. It's a little past 2 in the morning. My fatigue is really starting to set in now.
あいつ、あんなんで大丈夫なのかな。
Yeah, dude, she's just thirsty. Arkway's expression when we parted steadily weighs on my mind. She didn't seem tired or in pain, but... That's strange. There's something standing there, between the street lamps, where neither light reaches. The first thing I feel is terror. The situation is so unnatural, so unreal, it feels like my heart will stop. Unfortunately, I'm already used to things like this. Masking my quick impulse, I quietly take my knife in hand. My blood is flowing at double its usual speed, or perhaps that's just another illusion. It's definitely a person, but I can't see anything other than that. There's something strange about the silhouette. It's getting closer. The sound of hollow footsteps. Its only exposed eye is bloodshot and fixed on me. The blade of my knife is set loose. My other hand goes to the temple of my glasses. A chill crosses its way up my back like a centipede. I really don't like that centipede analogy, man. I just don't like it. Ugh, it's gross. With one final step, the figure crosses the point of no return. At that very moment, the light from the street lamps vanishes with an audible click. Even though the moon is bright tonight, the world is plunged into darkness. My heart races, as if to inform me of my rapidly approaching demise. His blade races toward my left arm near the bicep. My reason will have to catch up later. I bring my knife up to meet the flash streaking towards me through the darkness, deflecting it just in time. The edges of the shadow's lips contort. Somehow, I sense it's grinning. But I can't lose focus. I need to counter this thing. Although I'm surprised, I'm also perfectly calm. Not a second has passed since this figure first came into sight. My thoughts have ceased. Time has frozen over. I don't have a moment to waste on being shocked. The clashing of our blades sends sparks flying into the night air. Though this unnatural darkness conceals us both, I can see something shining brightly within it. Distinct shimmering junctions connecting the life underneath. I deflect the relentless blade exactly how I intend to. If there's one thing that astounds me, it's the fact that my body is able to stop these shrouded attacks so precisely, even while I'm already this exhausted. Is my opponent simply easy to read? That may be part of it, but it's not all. My arm is simply following the map of lines and points that my eyes see. And in this complete darkness, they're all I can see, so I can focus on them alone. My head. It hurts terribly. My thoughts are on fire. My chest stings. My head hurts. My scar is hot. My eyes feel like they might spill from their sockets. But this feels familiar. Something like this happened long ago. Yes, the body of a child covered in blood. Akiha, bloodied and crying. My own blood-soaked hands. Metal crashes against metal. Pure instinct allows me to continue deflecting the blade. That was close. I blacked out there for a second. I won't let my guard down again, because I know where it's aiming. I can parry every strike before my mind even catches up. The reason is simple. It's aiming for my body's lines. That's why I know where it'll aim before it even moves. All I need to do is protect the line it's most likely to be aiming for based on its posture and timing. The second I realize my enemy's strategy, I finally speak.
お前見えているのか
Ah, he has the same eyes. I know it. The figure can see the exact same thing I do. Damn it. The shadow laughs in the darkness. His bloodshot eye stares me down mockingly, as if to say, so you finally noticed. Blood is rapidly pumped through my body. The corners of my lips rise in a confluence of exaltation and fear. I see. Then we're on equal terms. If either one of us hits their mark, it'll be over. But that doesn't matter to me. Not anymore. So what if any of it cuts could kill me? If that was enough to scare me, I wouldn't be alive right now. I think of that sheer cold I endured before. Vlov was far more impressive. This thing doesn't compare to a vampire like that. Even if it might be the one Arcwade's after. All things considered, I have the upper hand. Attack. Attack. I'm taking the offensive. The figure's keeping up, but it's forced to dedicate everything to matching me. I can win. I don't know who this is or where they came from, but what I do know is that I'm cornering them. Goosebumps form on my skin. My heart races with the feeling of power. I can win. I'm stronger. I'm stronger. If this thing is going to kill me, then I'll just kill them first. I deflect my opponent's attack, disarming them. I step forward. I thrust the knife, bared like a fang at the now unprotected line before me. But something's odd. Why don't I feel any hesitation? The street lamps flicker back on, rousing my mind from its feverish state. There's no one in front of me. The shadow I engaged in battle isn't there. It's been flung against the estate's outer wall, impaled by a long thin object. I struggle to make sense of the situation. The figure that attacked me, a man apparently, was run through with a rod-like object that flew in from the side. The impact must have flung him against the wall. No human could survive something like that. But that thing isn't human. His voice is hoarse. The man, his gut skewered, wheezes as he glares at the night sky. I keep my distance as I follow his gaze. And there. Hey, it's my teacher. I see a familiar figure standing atop the streetlight.
ノエル先生。
She's dressed like a nun. In her right hand, she holds a narrow-bladed sword. In her left, an absurdly massive halberd. I recognize the shape of the former. Or to be more exact, part of my brain remembers it having entered my field of view. On a subconscious level, I know that it's one of these swords that saved me from Vlov's icicles. Oh, so I'm wrong about who saved them then. I had someone else in mind. Our eyes meet. She shoots me a smile, and in the next moment, she launches her swords at the shadowed figure. As she says the words, light bursts from the swords. I can hear the air shift as she readies her halberd. She readjusts her grip and leaps down from the light, aiming for her target. The man cries out as flesh and bone are severed. The shadow-like substance surrounding him is dispersed by Noel's implement of war. The man, shadow and all, begins to dissolve, just like the aberrant zombie I fought in the garage. He stares me down as his body fades away. His black bloodshot eye exudes hatred, as if he were cursing my very existence. All I can do is stare dumbfounded. The man fades with the shadows that surround him, erased completely from this world, with no evidence he ever existed in the first place. All that remains are the sounds of wind and chirping insects. It feels just like any other night now. It's like the entire world is pretending that the man who screamed his heart out never existed. Meanwhile, I've been left with an equally strange person.
こんばんは。この国の夜は安全だと聞いていたけど、
この辺りは物騒なのね。ちょっと散歩していたら吸血鬼みたいな化け物が可愛い教え子に襲いかかっているんだもの。それともあなたの周りが特別なのかしら。当の四季くん。